All right, so here we go with James 2:7. Do they not blaspheme the good name by which you have been called? So again, here James in James 2 is talking about how don't discriminate or judge somebody based on their outward appearance. He is talking about the rich people versus the poor people, showing favoritism specifically to the rich, and that was James 2:6 and now 2:7, and saying that the rich people, those are going to be the ones that drag you into court and that type of stuff. And here he tags on after that, do they not blaspheme? He's talking about the rich, the good or noble name by which you have been called. And this has kind of a like the name that he's kind of talking about is like your heirs of that group. You've been adopted type idea, because we're called to follow Christ. So that's kind of the idea he's getting at when it comes to the name you have been called. It's kind of your family name type idea. So again, in this culture, we can see that a lot. It's we have Hollywood definitely has certain slants that they push things. As far as their movies go, we have big companies that will talk out against Christian type values, but then they'll have slave labor in other countries. And we also have right now it's 2022. A couple of years ago there were some shutdowns, and I know in the state I was at, the first thing that our governor said was churches are not allowed to be open. They are non-essential. So obviously he had a certain issue with churches, and then of course calling them non-essential. We also have in some school districts, there's some school districts that are teaching against Christianity, with some of the books that they're choosing to show in the libraries and books that they're not having in the libraries. So we also see this in the Bible quite a bit as far as blaspheming or going against the name in which we have been called as Christians. Pretty much all the disciples, when they were murdered or crucified or killed, or however you want to put it there, it wasn't by the poor people. And again, that's what James is doing here. He's contrasting the poor people versus the rich people. He's using that as a specific example because we don't want to be showing favoritism to the rich, because he's all like, dude, if somebody's going to do you wrong, it's going to be the rich. Now again, we're not saying that all rich people are bad, but most rich kids don't have a story arc like Thor does. And this is before Endgame, when they started writing him kind of weirdly and made him fat and kind of a loser and all that type of stuff. So the one question I kind of have is when it talks about the name you've been called, that's kind of a family name, that's your team name type idea. Are you developing that in your own family and making sure that your family name is held in high regards? And I know with my kids, one thing that I tell them, I said, now, what's your last name? And I said, well, you need to start acting like that then. This is the way we act. And these are the things. We have integrity. We're honest. And we're hard workers, and we're nice to other people. Those are some of the main things, and we're a God-fearing family. So just some things to throw out there for you to think about there when it comes to the good name we have been called, and that's James 2:7.